All right, recording. All right, so what? Let's see here. All right, where we're starting with this. So that's the check-in update that y'all should have watched, right? I broke everything down into all the parts. Not going to go over it again. Okay, you got that. All right, I am going to go over this in great detail. So I got to share my screen here. Okay, I posted to the faculty and I posted to social media, and I said, what is like normal, what is the typical call-in lecture? It's this 2-minute video, but about an hour long. Right, because I'm smiling because some of these images I've shown in class, I was like, this is like they're pulling from my slides. They're pulling from, right? So, no, sorry, y'all. There's no audio, correct?
I wasn't getting audio.
Okay.
Ever wondered how something like this happens? Or how about this?
All right, let's try this again.
Ever wondered how something like this happens? Or how about this? How about this security gate, which is also a ladder? Or this bicycle lane, which is also a death trap? How about a toilet with walls of frosted glass? Or a toilet for disabled people with steps in front of it? This packaging which is impossible to open? Or this packaging which is impossible to empty? Road signs that drivers can't understand? Or road systems that are impossible to get through? What's missing in all these examples? Designers. Good designers. The stereotype says that being a designer is just about obscure coffee preferences, strong typeface opinions, people who make strange clothes, odd buildings, and who are obsessed with chairs. So many chairs. But forget the stereotype. The truth is the world needs designers. The world needs designers because it needs people who don't ignore problems but who try and solve them. Like how to keep a cut from getting infected, or how to undo mistakes, how to keep food fresh, or just how to give customers their ice cream in a way that's cheap and sustainable. The world needs designers because it needs people who understand the importance of making things easy to learn. People who understand how to take existing concepts and combine them to make something better. People who understand that when design is good, people don't even realize it's design. The world needs designers because it needs people who think, obsess, and fight for clarity, simplicity, convenience, toughness, satisfaction, comfort, affordability, safety, security, elegance, joy. The world needs designers because it needs people who love making things beautiful. Not just because they like beautiful things, but because beautiful things work better. The world needs designers because it needs people who think about the long term, who understand that sometimes new problems require us to build new solutions, but sometimes just need us to remember old ones. The world needs designers because it needs people who will do it again and again and again until it's better. Because it needs people who care about details, even when it's 2 a.m., they're underpaid, and it feels like no one will notice. The world needs designers because it needs people who know that when you don't think about design, it can end in disaster. And that when design is good, it can improve lives. And even save them. The world needs designers because good design makes the world smarter, more sustainable, stronger, better. The world needs good designers because design makes the world.
All right, can you hear me? So that's a really good summary of my long meandering lectures. Right? I'm like, wow, that's good editing. That's 2 minutes of a typical lecture for me. The other video that I'm going to include that we're not going to watch the entire time, there's a 22-minute video. I remember watching this as a kid. We didn't have cable TV, and my dad would always make me watch 2020 or Nightline or any of his kind of shows. And this is where I got introduced to what as quote unquote design. And what we're looking at right here is the IDEO video. We're not going to watch the entire thing, but I'm going to skip around on this. And they're redesigning the shopping cart, and it was one of their tasks. And what the first thing they did in the shopping cart, right, is they actually went to, they skipped around on this, but they actually went to the shop. They went to the store, and they watched and they talked to people. And they talked to the people who use shopping carts, right? And if any of you said, Colin, I'm gonna go work for IDEO, I would be so happy. Like, I think since as long as I've known, they've been just doing like premier work and what design is, and they're still pushing this idea of what, so much so that they started a graduate school of Stanford called the D School, just lowercase d dot. Like your diploma has a lowercase d dot. And it's not in it. And what happens is the project is what brings everybody together. Everybody brings their expertise, but everybody's a designer because everybody designs. And for your portfolios and for your body of work, right? So much more of it, so much more of what you do is design than you realize. And it's just not an app, right? It's just not a website. And so what we're looking right here is this is the majority of the design work right here. See how they're sitting around talking and drawing and writing, and everything is low fidelity, right? And this is long before UX became a popular term. What I need you to keep realizing, this stuff existed long before me and long before the people before me. Long before I don't even know if the term UX is going to hang out, be around, but design's always going to be there in some form or fashion, right? I don't want to spoil it for you. They redesigned the shopping cart, right? And you can watch this on your own time. There's the short 8-minute version, and there's a long 22-minute version in class. We watch the 22-minute version, and we break it all down, but we just don't have the internet bandwidth to do just that. Okay. So good. All right. IDEO was working on stuff like Free Willy, the movies, right? They work on a lot of medical equipment and so many other things. Now, Colin, why are you telling me this? Because they have an awesome job board. Okay, so under careers, sorry, my son's being a little bit loud. He's almost done. Let's see here. If you take a look at these careers, it runs a wider gamut. Like, I wish we had the time to watch this video. Like, I'm curious, what is this about? Right? And this is a lot of, right? Let's see here. Oh, this is a good one. Look, they're looking for a UI lead. So if any of you want to move to San Francisco, this is a good one. Check. You can hit apply now. Hint, hint. There's some people who want your work. Apply now, and part of, let's see here. They don't talk about salary in this one, but part of step 5 is I actually have you look at salaries. Sorry, now I'm distracted. Now I'm on record as like I want to spend more time looking at this job posting. So good. Okay. So yeah, we're gonna pin that one. Come back to that if we have time at the end. All right, check. We're good. Good on the update, right? Okay. So what we're going to do in this class and the next class is see how we're going to talk about the singular source of truth. And I'm going to walk you through just some of the features of Google Sheets Sync. And like I said in my video, I'm going to walk you through another version of this. So some of you might say, like, I don't want any of this. I am more than happy to just copy and paste, which is perfectly cool. Like, if you want to copy and paste, that's just fine. There's going to be a designer that basically says, I'm fine with the way I work. Okay. What's going to happen is your design team is going to say, well, we're designing a weather app and we can't have you copy and paste the weather in. And you're going to be like, well, why? Why can't I copy and paste the temperature? Because they're going to look at you and say, because the temperature is always changing. Why isn't this dynamic and real? Same thing with Silverback. Like, yes, those are all like basically mock-up data for us to work with, but that's about as real and as close as the highest fidelity data they can get without violating FERPA laws, right? Without violating policy. Okay. So working with a single source of truth, right, is really, really important. Okay. All right, let's go ahead and log into Figma so we can see this. I would love to talk more if we had the time, but we don't, right? About how IDEO reinvented the shopping cart. Okay, spoiler, no, get on that page. Well, how they got there is important. Go apply for this job, that's the other one. All right, single source of truth, right? This is why we have ProtoPie and all those other tools, right? I promise you, right, the word Swift UI will enter into your career. I'm telling you this right now, right? And when Swift UI is going to pop open at your workplace, you're going to be like, oh, Colin was right. So what this basically says is like high fidelity, high fidelity, high fidelity. Okay, and part of working with high fidelity is real data, real data, real data. Okay, if we could use Framer, we would, but we can't. Okay, check. So there's got to be a middle ground to make this thing happen. All right, so we are done with this. You can read this into your own time. The short version about working with real data is your clients won't say, what the heck is lorem ipsum? Okay. Everybody will have a better idea. Also, real data will break your design. Someone might have a really long name. Someone might have unique characters in their name, right? And by working with that real data, right, your designs are better for it. How many times have you designed something and you're like, oh shoot, that's too long, okay? And you F with your entire design because you didn't account for a really long title, right? So there is a lot of that, right? We're talking about the single source of truth. Okay, let's go ahead, and one of the advanced things in all of the UX3 classes is we talk about plugins. So let's go get into Figma. Okay, click on plugins inside of Figma. All right, we're all on plugins, yay. Okay, first one we're going to take a look at is Google Sheets Sync, and the next one we're going to take a look at next class is one with Airtable, right? And both will work. Okay, again, you can disregard this entire week's worth of lectures. I'm just going to continue to copy and paste, and I'm going to say, have fun with that. Okay, until your sites get really, really big. I'm going to go work for Airbnb and copy and paste. Like, what? We have real data that we can pull into this thing. Okay, all right. Browse all plugins. We're going to search for, that's a tongue twister, Google. All right, just search for Google. You're going to get this thing from Dave Williams. Oh, I like that spelling of Williams. Go ahead and hit install on that inside of your Figma. All right. And again, I know we did some of this in last class, which we briefly went through it, just double checking that we're all there. All right. Good, we got it installed. Thumbs. All right, once you have it installed. Okay, fair warning, I get really lost inside of Figma. I don't know when I'm in a project, in a page, in someone else's page. So if I get lost, just bear with me here. It doesn't fit my mental model. So I'm inside of the plugins. I've had it installed. I'm gonna click on Google Sheets Sync, and this is gonna bring me to the preview or the cell for the plugin, right? This is the, okay. So down here at the bottom though is what we're actually looking for. That's the documentation. So under step 3, under more documentation, this is what we want. Why Figma doesn't link to this, I don't know, but maybe they want to link to all of this data instead. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and copy that link. And I want you to paste that in a new tab like so. Okay, we're going to do a very, very basic. Okay. Oh yeah, you all changed the word basic. Basic means something else in your lexicon now, huh? It means something else. Yeah. It has a really negative connotation. Oh, that's too bad. Right, all right. I'm learning. All right, so here is this now. What's confusing about this? So I got here, and this is where you're gonna laugh at me. All right, oh, old man Colin can't figure this. I came here and I said, where the heck is the documentation? It can't be. There's more to than this, right? and I'm not a like go into the page and like move it around like this, guess what? Right, and I also didn't see the things down here. You have to, it's a Figma file. And it wasn't until I zoomed out, I'm like, oh my goodness, it's a big old Figma file. So to get to the documentation, you have to scroll down. And here's all the different documentation. So the documentation, this is where this gets meta. The documentation is a Figma file. Right? It's a Figma plugin with the documentation as a Figma file. And I cursed so because I did not notice that at all. I thought that this was just this. There you go. It's recorded. Right? I stared at this for hours, not knowing that I could scroll down. Right? Is that my fault? Is that Dave Williams' fault? I don't know. But I just stared at this and stared at this and said, what the? Good? Right? Because where's my scroll bars? Nothing lets me know that there's more to this because Figma says it's just a big canvas. You don't need to scroll. Right? All right. So maybe there is an event. So down here toward the bottom, just so we're all aware of this, there is a view example file. Go ahead and click on that. Okay, so why we have to do a simple example today is because this is really hard, right? You have to look at your tab, you have to look at the Zoom window, and we go back and forth. So inside of the demo here, you're gonna go ahead to this top part and duplicate to your drafts. So let's get this outside of, Dave Williams's site and into ours. So again, inside the middle here, we're gonna go and duplicate to our drafts so we can actually take a look at it. And then Figma wants you to go down to the bottom and open it. Okay, so now this is actually saved to my account, okay, multiple times. And so I can come in here and go back to my files just so you know, like, there it is, it's all there. Okay, so now I'm gonna go back into this file. All right, so what is nice about this, so first let's go ahead and take a look at some of these examples here. There's two examples. There's the onboarding example here, and there's the property listings one. And Airbnb, VRBO, heck, something. WebMD is a popular site right now. Anything that has lots of real data. Netflix, right? They want you to use as little lorem ipsum as possible, but call them some lorem ipsum right there. Well, that's probably a good use for it, or not. Yeah. So what this is just two examples of how this could work. And what I like about the documentation, this is really, really nice, is there's a little description here and an arrow pointing to it. So you can even put a table cell directly inside of a component. You can also put it inside of a specific frame, which is really, really nice. So this plugin can do quite a bit, and that's all I'm trying to show you right here. Is we're not going to go through all the advanced features because even through the basic stuff, like I'm already losing sight of where we all are at. All right, so inside the chat, I'm going to go ahead and paste a link to this Google Doc, like so. Okay. All right. All right, so I made a Google Doc for a fictitious portfolio content. Okay, and it's just got 3 fields, 3 really, really basic fields, like really easy stuff. All right, it should take you to here. And then I went ahead and clicked on share, okay? And then I changed the share settings. And for this to work, you have to make it anyone with a link, okay? So you have to basically make it public. So make it public. Where this method fails, everybody, is if you had like sensitive data, like if you had real user accounts, real medical info, okay? But internally, there's always a workaround to all of this. Okay, so again, single source of truth, single source of truth. Third time, single source of truth. All right, so that link that was copied and pasted in the chat is to this. All right, so can we all see this very simple sheet? Thumbs up. All right. So we can all see this sheet. So this is the sheet that we're going to be pulling from. All right, so now let's go into Figma and make a new file. File, new Figma file, new artboard, new whatever you like. File, new project. All right, so let's come into here and let's make 2 new pages. Okay. All right, so this can be project A, right? And I'm gonna duplicate this in project B. All right, good there. So we have a project A and project B. Is there a way for Figma not to reverse these? It's messing with my dyslexia here. Because you make something and I read left to right. Anyway, if you know a way to work around that, I'd appreciate it. All right, so we have a project A and a project B. Okay, and so now we're going to do, and this is the same thing we're going to do in what we've done in Web 3 is we're going to content model. We're going to model this content, right? So we have what type of data is the name? It's a string. What type of data is a tab line? It's a string. What type of data is the featured image or feature image, right? This is, right, an image. Yeah, so we're going to model this content. Okay. So we're in this untitled file, right? So in the first frame here, we're going to do a title here. So this is the project title. All right, someone yell out a typeface that they want to see, or font that they want to see on this project.
Racing Sands.
All right, I something Racing Sands.
I think it's something like that.
Did I spell that right? Racing Sands, perfect. All right, there's Racing Sands. I'm gonna make the title really big so we can all see it. Okay. Right. Then I'm gonna make another one. This is gonna be our description. Maybe for this one, well, let's see here. What is close to, I can't see I just want the blah. All right, there. Ooh, that's gross. Okay, but I can't do all this, so here, how about PT Serif? That'll work. All right, that's better. Less gross. All right, good there. Okay, so there's our description, and then lastly, we're going to make a frame for the. We're going to make a not a frame, thing. What's this called? Rectangle. Shoot. Yeah, now you have to refresh my memory on how to make on how to place an image here, because I just forgot it. All right, so let's say we're gonna. This is our basic design there. Good. Okay. All right, and of course you're going to turn these into symbols. Okay. There's going to be your featured image right there. Yeah, this will work. All right. Check. All good there? All right, so what we want to be able to do is bring in this real data. So to do that, we're going to reference each of these. So name, tagline, feature image. So we're going to pretend like, I don't know what this is. I've never seen it before, right? So we're going to use that understanding. And we're going to go, all right, go back to documentation. And the documentation says, hey, regardless of your table names, right? If you name the layers with a pound sign, I'm going to grab this title. So even if you have my layer space pound title, it's going to go look up. The lookup label is inside of the spreadsheet. So our lookup label in our spreadsheet for, and this is trick question here, what is the lookup label for this column right here? Name. Perfect. Right, so let's come inside of here. And right, so project A. Oh, I forgot how to do images. I just did this.
You got to change the fill.
Oh, thanks. All right, we're gonna. That's right. Thank you. Let's do that real fast. It shouldn't be here, but anyway. Thank you. Good. Can I just leave it like that as a placeholder? Ooh, fancy. All right. Thank you, anonymous helper. Ethan, is that you?
Yep.
Thanks. All right, we're good inside of there. All right, so project A. So what do I need to change this layer name to?
Pound sign name.
Pound sign name. Y'all got this. All right. Pound sign name. Right. And then before we get into the feature image, what about the description? Oh, what's this field called?
Tagline.
Tagline. I know.
Colin, I have a quick question.
Sure.
Why can't you put all the text in like a hashtag name or the pound sign name, pound sign, tagline all in the same text box? Do they always have to be in separate text box for it to work?
I think you can put them into a single component, but they have to be in separate layers. Okay. That's my understanding of, and I'm going to show you an example of this I did for a project at the end of all this. So yeah, so you could take all this and put it into a component. Okay. And group them together. I think that's how I did it. Yeah. I'm trying to answer that question without getting into the details. Oh, JSON. These are all your keys, and then the values are getting pulled in. So you know this from UX3. I mean from Web3. That's why. Each of these keys have to be separate. All right, so there's our description, and then there's our image, and then the image is going to be feature image. The thing I don't like about this, it ignores the spaces. Okay, so just kind of be aware of that. It just says, I don't care about spaces. It wants it to be human readable. All right, so pound sign feature image. And then to run it, we're going to go to, I forgot how to use this. So we're going to go in here and it says run feature sync. I'm gonna stop pretending like I don't know what I'm doing. Okay, come into here, plugins, right? Run Google Sheet Sync. That's it. Okay. The downside about you running any of these is you have to do it over and over and over again every time the content gets updated, but your content won't get updated very, very quickly. In a real project, it's actually syncing with a live server, and it'll refresh itself, which is really, really cool. All right. You can also see there that I experimented with as many of the Figma plugins as I can that does this, like Sketch, Figma, Adobe XD, like name the tool. Like there's always ways to pull in live data, right? You want me to stop using a tool? If I can't pull in live data, I'm not using it. I'm not copying and pasting. Okay. All right. So what's gonna do? We're gonna highlight the frame. I'm about to say artboard. Frame. Is that right? Frame. I don't know. Go to plugins, Google Sheet Sync. Right. You can put that on the evals. Colin doesn't know how to use Figma. Fine by me. All right. And then we're going to paste in here the shareable link. Okay. And share public link. There it is right there. Okay. And what's nice, once you put it in once, and we fetch and sync, and it goes and grabs all the stuff. It's fetching the image. Right. There we go. All right. So what did that teach us about the description? That the font size is too big, right? The width of the container is too small. This is what real data can do here for on this really, really basic example. On this very, very simple modified example. So then we can just do this, okay, and say, oh wait, this thing needs to be smaller. How about 48? Right, and it's grabbing this placeholder. And then what you can do, right, to speed up your workflow, because if you can do this, like we always say, if you can do this for two projects, you can do this for 20. A fast way to do this is, better way to do this would be make this into a component, but I don't want to do that right now. We'll go ahead and just copy those fields over, right? And then you can select your two frames. I'm dancing right now because I can't remember the name of it. You can't see me dance, so this is kind of nice.
It's a frame.
Right. Frame, thank you. Plugins, run from last sync, or you can even run last plugin. Right. And I'm gonna go ahead and take the entire document, but the default is fine. Just current selection will work too. Fetch and sync, boom, boom, boom. It's gonna run out there and grab all the stuff. Come on, XYZ. That link broken. All right, so immediately, right, we see like, this link is broken. This thing didn't get loaded. Well, why? So let's go ahead and double check that this photo right here is indeed available. Okay. And so like with any plugin, yeah, see why it's breaking? Okay. Like just be aware that, look, this image can't get fetched. And sometimes things go wrong, but we got the header and the description. Okay.
I think the image is larger than the view box, Colin. It might.
Is it in there? Thanks,
If you
Ethan.
go to image, you can change how it fits in that view box, like fit, fill, or there's different options. So you got to go over to fill, click on image.
Colin doesn't know how to use Figma.
Click on image under fill, as if you were going to change. And then under that, there's fit, crop, tile. So maybe that's why. Who's a guess?
It's a good guess. I don't know why I'm changing orientation on this. That should work. I'm gonna play around with that. Well, that one should work. All right. So I'm thinking through, how did I resolve that? Anyhow, all right. So now you have a third project that you want to bring into this. Okay. Well, does that content exist? All right. So we're going to come into here, as we're going to call this VCD design. Okay. I'm going to go ahead and grab an image for this. Oh, that's a good one. Oh, that's a massive image. That's going to make everybody mad. We're no longer VCD. How do you feel about that? Anybody? There's the image, right? Design.
Danielle was excited about not being VCD because no one knew what it meant.
Yeah, I love the Department of Design. I think Travis came up with a good name. I'm gonna give him credit because I think he's the first one that I heard say that. So, all right. So we have this logo, okay, and we added a project to it, right? And then all we would need to do inside of Figma would be to duplicate this other project. I think the short version, I think we're hoping that generally people will understand it better, right? When you say visual communication design, it's not immediately apparent about what the work is about. Okay. And then you can run this again. So it just might be that image, right? And that's how we know. The other thing is I'm pulling these from like random internet sources, as you just saw. Like normally you would host this yourself. Well, where can you host this? Dropbox. You can host it on Google. You can host it on like wherever you have your images hosted. Okay. Heck, you can even host it on this this place. It's a good place to host your images because Notion says what? How much stuff can you all upload in Notion? How much stuff can you upload in Notion? In terms of megabytes and gigabytes and like switchabytes and all those things. What? Yeah. I would take full advantage of that. Yeah. So put as much stuff up there as you like. All right. So host it on Notion. Okay. Good way to do this. All right, and we saw this with our Silverback learning. Okay. If you have an image that you put up to Notion, okay, you've collected this. There's a reason why I had you use Notion. All you need to do is go right, and you know this from your classes, right? Copy image location, right? And then there is your the path to your image. And you don't have to worry about it. You already got stuff in Notion. Why not use it? Why not pull it in? Okay, so there's that. And so that's what I would figure out. It's like, oh, that image needs replaced. Right, I would pull that image in from Notion instead. Okay, let's take a look at some of the other features, and then I'm gonna let you go. If you don't want to use columns, I don't like this method instead, but you can. Instead of making these bold, you can have insert to the left. There you go. All right, you can do this name and tagline and feature image if this is your jam, and then you make these bold. Okay. And then you would of course have to replace all of this. Okay, so there's the other method, right? If you like it, this be your keys. Instead of keys horizontally, you can have keys vertically. Good in that part. All right. The other thing I would recommend using here is how to do, not different data types. Hang on. There's the // All right, so the / isn't in, there you go, right here. If you want different pages and properties, you just say the page, and instead of using the £, you're going to use // it will go to that. So instead of saying pound apps, see here in the bottom corner it says apps, you can do, have another sheet here. This could be like, students. So it'd be like // students. Good. There is that. I would take a look at the sample files. You can see all the kind of tips and tricks. Like any plugin, there's a whole mess of it. There's a whole lot to it. And what I want you to do is figure out like which feature works best for you, right? If it's just the simplified version, okay. For some of us, right, it's just gonna be I don't have enough stuff to warrant this. And I can't fight with you on that. I'm like, fine, like go. I'm done. Like, if I really like, if you're like, I'm just gonna copy and paste. Cool. Like I'm not gonna try to convert you on this. I'm a terrible inspirational speaker. See how I'm struggling with that? I'm a terrible inspirational speaker. All I can say is if these are 3 projects. What if you had more than 3? Right. Okay. So last thing I'm gonna do is show you how I actually applied all this into a real world project. And what I need to do is stop sharing because I don't want to share this with all of YouTube. So bye-bye, YouTubes. All right, I'm gonna stop share. That's where we're gonna end. Stop. I'm gonna pause recording. Season on here. All right, hide client work. All right, we got that. What I'm gonna turn back on here is stuff that I have pulled from previous classes that I'm finally starting to show you. All right. I think this is fun. You can go to the uncomfortable.com, the uncomfortable. Okay. I'm showing this for 2 reasons. One, I love all the content on there. I saw this and I got angry. I got really, really angry because anytime I see stuff that I wish I did, I get upset. Like, oh, why didn't I think of this? I was like, oh, this is just genius, right? The other thing here is this is a really nice portfolio. Right? This is a really, really nice portfolio, right? But Colin, where's all the metadata? Colin, where's all the stuff that you told us to put in? This person doesn't need it. Also, that's where all this stuff goes to. And there's a trade-off there, right? There is a complete trade-off between like, well, do you want to send your users to possibly get lost in Twitter and Facebook, right? Or not? But it's a strong opinion. You can also change the views, but the bigger thing I want you to take note of this is this is intentionally what's that called, the dark pattern. And I don't want you to have unintentional dark patterns. I want you to have a real dark pattern. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you guys seeing my face right now?
Yep.
I'm sorry. Thank you. Right. Like they're knowingly, right? The designer on this is knowingly going to like decrease the user experience. I don't want you to accidentally cause troubles for someone. I want you to intentionally cause troubles for someone, right? Be aware of all the design trade-offs. And so this isn't just an art project. Like this is just wonderful. Like I saw this and I was like, man, right? The broom is the best, right? It's this idea of, yeah, I know what good user experience is and I'm going to flip it around. Okay? It's just wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, this is how I see most apps, by the way. It's like, all right, I know. Yeah, so there's the uncomfortable. Another great example that I shared with a past student, okay, is this right here. This is a local, this was somewhere in Spokane, apparently, or Portland, one of the two. So a student was out and about, and what I believe Meg had you do this too, is I have you go around town, right? I have you say, find good user experience in the physical world. Okay. Can anybody spot what the good user experience is in the physical world here?
The windows.
Yeah. Right. So the windows are security windows. And why I'm showing you this is this wraps up the 2-minute video. Right. These are beautiful windows that serve a purpose. Right. They're security windows. Right. But they don't look like normal security windows, right? As we've all seen. I hope they're actually going to get a security window. Right, with the black bars. Okay. It's just a different interpretation of the exact same idea, serving the exact same purpose, right? But with a completely different result, right? And these are two great examples, right, of how I need you to start thinking about your portfolio. Right? There is more to this than that. We had a UX project where a designer, I don't have pictures of it, I should bring it up. She did the window illustrations, the massive window illustrations for the Valley Library Media Center. Right. Why? Because we wanted to increase usage of the center, and people were like, I don't know what is there, and all the windows were blacked out all the time. Right. So how are we going to get people more engaged with this space? That was the problem. How do we get people more engaged with this space? Right. We went through a bunch of solutions, and that was the one that won out. All right. I'm gonna stop sharing. I'm also going to stop talking.